It was a happy day for all three of them, Eric Clapton, Laurie, and Connor. Laurie and Connor were in New York to spend the Easter holidays with Eric. It was the day Eric realized his role as a father and how much his son meant to him. That day, Eric and his son had a wonderful time at the circus on Long Island. When they returned home, Laurie couldn't help but see their happy faces. Eric confessed that he was ready to play the role of a good and responsible father, and this brought happy tears to her eyes. She could tell that he was genuinely happy and sincere. Eric also promised to take care of Connor by himself whenever they were together. He wanted to cook for him and bathe him without any help. Laurie could see that the future of their family was going to be different from that day onwards. She saw that in Eric's eyes, his expression, the way he talked was serious. It was honest and genuine. Later on in their apartment, Connor was excited. He couldn't stop talking about his father, the things they saw at the circus, and all the fun they had. And what heightened his excitement even more is that Eric had promised to take him and his mother to the Central Zoo the next day. Laurie somehow managed to convince little Connor to sleep. When Connor woke up the next morning, he was all fired up. The three of them were going to the zoo, and the level of excitement was even higher than the previous day. It was 11 a.m. in the morning, and Eric was soon to be there. Connor was still in his pajamas, happily playing with his nanny, while Laurie was getting ready for the day. She shouted from the bathroom, asking Connor to get dressed, and he happily responded in a minute. The janitor was in the apartment that day doing his job. Laurie had told the nanny and the maid to not leave the little boy all by himself, even for a single solitary second. But children at this age are very playful, and all of a sudden, Connor said he wanted to play hide and seek. He started running, and his nanny was running right behind him. Unfortunately, the nanny was stopped by the janitor to warn her that he had left the huge window-like glass wall open. It was kept permanently closed, but the janitor opened it after learning that the lock was broken. The few seconds of distraction by the janitor were what made the nanny fail in her job. It was too late when she realized the danger the boy was in. Connor was already out of sight when Laurie rushed to the scene after hearing the nanny's dreadful scream. Laurie immediately comprehended what had happened when she saw the open window. It was 4 foot wide and 6 foot tall. She immediately collapsed on the floor. The tragedy devastated Clapton, but he committed to remaining sober instead of relapsing. He also sought to strengthen his bond with his daughter, Ruth, and he wrote 2 songs about the loss. Most notably, the tragedy inspired Clapton to write Tears in Heaven, one iconic, heartbreaking song that Weird Al Yankovic respectfully thought was beyond parody. But the night before Conor's death, Clapton took him to the circus, and he later wrote a song about that unforgettable evening together, aptly called Circus, describing his late son as a little man with his heart so pure. In 2004, Clapton decided to stop playing Tears in Heaven during his live shows. He has stated that he has moved on, and he just can't get that inspiration which he had when he was writing the song. He also doesn't want to revisit the dark event.